Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Howard Tilman of Congregation Beth Israel here in Scotch Plains. Mishpatim is a parsha of transitions. It's here when the Torah shifts from largely a narrative to largely a legal code with extensive instructions and details for our legal tradition. Now, sure, there are still examples of both going forward, but up until now, it's been mostly narrative, been mostly a story, and moving forward, it becomes mostly this legal code. Mishpatim also marks the transition from receiving the Torah to accepting the Torah. In the closing verses of the Parsha, there is this moment of what we call popular assent, where the people proclaim loudly in one voice, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will obey, or to put it another way, we will faithfully do. Many have asked, why does Na'aseh come before Nishma? Shouldn't we understand something before agreeing to it? Well, generally speaking, absolutely. We should understand anything that we're taking on ourselves. So what maybe is different here? Trust. According to one commentary, the Israelites had already encountered God in Egypt, they had experienced the miracle of crossing the sea, and they had stood in awe at Sinai. So at this point, they trusted that God's expectations would be in their best interest. We can see this today too. For so many things, of course, we want to understand them before agreeing to them. But there are plenty of occasions when we also rely on trust, on what we've been through together, on our understanding of expertise, and yes, sometimes simply on faith. Today, it can be tougher to rely on these matters of faith and trust, but that doesn't make it any less important. There are certain things we just can't fully appreciate until we've lived them ourselves, and only then do we see what they gave us, what they benefited us, how they impacted our lives. Sometimes we do need to na'aseh. We need to go for it, just jumping in before we can nishma, before we can understand it. Sometimes we do need to take that leap of faith. Shabbat Shalom.